Hello and welcome to a time special presentation for Thirukkural with the Times, where we explore real-world lessons from the classic Tamil text Thirukkural with motivational speaker, author and diversity champion Bharathi Baskar as she explores the masterpiece. We delve into one of the hardest experiences in life, the loss of a loved one. In their attempts to make sense of it, poets have turned to nature. So did Valluvar. What does nature teach us in dealing with grief? We examine how seasons and flowers helped poets Walt Whitman, Kirtanar and Mary Fry deal with the loss. And what Valluvar had to say on death and detachment, inspired by a nesting bird.
Purananuru, a compilation of poems from the Sangam era, has a soul-stirring requiem written by poet Kirtanar. On hearing the news about the untimely death of his dear friend Sathan of Vallayur, Kirtanar rushes to bid farewell. Vallayur is probably in the Pudukkottai district of Tamil Nadu. As the grief-stricken poet enters the town, he sees a climber of rotana flowers, Mullaipu, blooming in clusters. He questioned the flower. The young won't be adorned with you. The women won't pluck you. The singing vagabonds won't seek you with the string of their lutes, nor their beloved. On the day of the demise of the mighty Sathan, the hero who vanquished his enemies with a spear, dear little white flower, who did you bloom for? Poet Walt Whitman was a great admirer of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's assassination shattered him. That's when he wrote his famous poem about the lilac flowers that bloomed in his backyard. Every spring evokes the flowers to bloom in bunches, and the stars wane in the westerly direction. Whitman thought, the flower, the star, and I are alone this spring, as my friend has bidden adieu. And then Walt Whitman wrote this poem. O ever-returning spring, Trinity sure to meet you bring, lilac blooming perennial and the drooping star in the west, and I thought of him I love. When life takes away someone dear, people seek solace with nature. A wandering bird reminds them about the uncertainty of human existence. A flower that has bloomed to its full says that it will wither in a day or two. The dawn, the dusk, and the twilight plunge the grieving hearts into ephemeral pathos. Poets have always mourned the death of their loved ones by seeking solace in eternal elements of nature, especially flowers or birds. Most of such poems were melancholic verses. But of course, some poets have wrote very vibrant poems about death. Poet Mary Elizabeth Fry wrote an elegy for herself that was bubbling with positivity. Here too, nature was her source of hopefulness. She says, "Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond that glints on the snow. I am the sunlight on the ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain." In contrast to both, poet Valluvar was pragmatic in his views on death. Never once emotional, he dealt with the feelings in a manner of a true philosopher or a saint. He considered death as a liberation for the soul, freedom from the cycle of birth and death. According to him, the soul liberated from all the bonds attained its true and pristine nature of eternal bliss in the infinite wisdom. He too was inspired by a bird. Valluvar was observing the bird. The bird chose the tree carefully to build her nest. She painstakingly flew and flew to bring twigs and wood to create her nest. She brought feathers and cotton balls to make smooth bed for herself and her young ones. She sang happily from her nest every morning, bringing food for her birdlings every evening. She carefully nursed them each day. But when the young ones grew and flew away from her nest, she did not complain. She remained in the empty nest. When her time came, she too flew out. Valluvar wondered if she would turn her neck at least once to take the last look at the house she had built so carefully and lovingly. Won't you chance once at least to see the place that housed so many fond memories, dear bird? He probably asked. But no, the bird flew away, determined and destined, like an arrow out from above. Unidirectional. She flew away like there was no past and there were no memories. She disbanded her nest and flew away into the vastness of the sky, to the point of no return. Kudambai Taniththozhiya Parandatre, Udambodu, Uyiridai, Natpu. The bird flew away and left the nest deserted and bare. The bondage between the body and soul is such.